A quick update on all the pairs post FOMC. Okay, so FOMC was crazy because Euro USD actually played around our key level, but when FOMC happened, it actually just shot all the way up and potentially it would break this zone, right? So if we go into a smaller time frame, actually on M5, I marked an M5. Okay, we had an M5 set up over here where it was an engulfing buy that failed in the process of breaking, created an engulfing sell, price came back, created another engulfing sell. This was just a tad bit higher than the key level. Okay, so if I scroll back, price actually came around and played in this area, but it did not do much because it kept breaking and breaking. So when FOMC happened, it poked the key level over here, as you can see, poked on this M5 and then shot all the way up. Okay, so that's for Euro USD. Again, there were no setups actually because when the price came back, it just broke straight away. It did not close within first and created another engulfing sell within the zone. So it broke our sell zone on M5. So we had no setups at all for Euro USD. Hence, it broke in FOMC. Okay, so now we go to GU. Now, GU, perfect. Like I said, I love GU so much. GU is actually one of my favorite pairs to trade, other than 5-6 pairs that I've told you before. So, if we look at H4, GU was playing around this area, unsure if it was going to touch here for FOMC or here, right? But we knew we had our key levels locked in place. So when FOMC happened, although the H4 opened here, it dropped into the key level, poked very sharp, then shot all the way back up in this H4. So if we go down to an M15 scene or M15 time frame, you can see that there's a setup over here. Engulfing buy meets another engulfing buy that pushed the price all the way up into the sell key level or H4 over here. When price came back, it created another engulfing buy that was super strong to push the price again all the way up into our sell zone. So we know that the M15 buyers over here, sorry, let me just click this. We know that the M15 buyers over here are super strong enough to keep pushing it up to the key level. So if M15 decides to respect this zone, then we know it will push up or potentially reach our sell zone up here. So after having 3 engulfing buys, FOMC happened. It did a quick poke into the key level and it was overlapping with the M15. So you can see this over here, the blue wick touching both the key level and the M15 and shot all the way back up. So I'm only going to take it from my key level, okay? I'm not going to take it from the lowest it made. Oops, I'm just going to take it from my key level up to the highest it made. G already gave us 122 pips, and that is just from FOMC, okay? FOMC is a high impact news. The volume is crazy. So we scored 122 pips on GU. You may TP everything if you're satisfied, but if you're waiting to hit somewhere around the sell, the key levels of the sell zone, then make sure you set break even and just TP some. Okay, now last but not least, we have Euro AUD, which is also an amazing pair. Now I gave you 2 key levels and I explained that if it does not happen, if no setups are formed in this key level, then we know it potentially will test this upper key level, and it did exactly that. On F15, when price came into the zone, right, on H4, you can see that it took its time, and this H4 didn't even play around this key level, it just broke all the way up. But on F15, you can see that when price came up, it did not create any setups at all. And we have no setups, we just have an engulfing sell. So when the price came back, if it created another engulfing sell, it would help increase the chance of it dropping. But it did not. it just kept going up. So we know that it will potentially test this upper zone. So on M15, we had around the key level itself, the one that I marked and used was this. We have an engulfing sell that pushed the price all the way down over here. This was the start of this whole thing, right? It kept the price down below. When price came back, it created another engulfing sell. So we now have a locked setup for M15. We know that M15 cannot break above for the sellers to just keep pushing price down. If we go down into a smaller time frame on M5 to get a more precise entry, you can see that on M5 we have another setup, an engulfing buy that failed when price came back, created the first engulfing sell, came back again, created the second engulfing sell. So now you have your complete ABC, your HLZ, complete setup, right? EF, EG, EG, sell. Then we do see this wick, right? Although it shot all the way up, it decided to come back down and close within the zone. Now, why did it shoot up here? Because it might have wanted to test a zone up here to get a better price just to shoot with more volume down. Okay, so this upper one, where it tested, was also a complete setup. Engulfing buy that failed. Price came back up, created an engulfing sell, the first one, came back again, created the second engulfing sell. Hence, when price came back, wanted to test this zone, the sellers were so strong because it was able to keep the price below this zone. It poked and dropped all the way down. But although it poked and left a wick here, it still respected this M5 and M15. So I'm going to take it from the key level that I marked down to the lowest it made. EA gave us 74 pips. All right, congrats again. That's close to 200 pips for FOMC from the currency pairs alone, because Euro USD had no setups whatsoever. So of course, like I said, no setups, no trade, no entries. All right, patience is key, and consistency is key. So that's it for the three pairs. Well done again for FOMC. It was it was pretty eventful for both Mr. Cloud's gold analysis and the currencies part. Okay, so I'm going to head to bed. I hope you had a good day, have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye!